What's up, people? And welcome to a drama video. And it's some of the dumbest drama I've seen in a long time. Um, so as the title implies, what do Elon Musk, Grums, Hassan Piker, and Ubisoft all have in common? I'll wait. The answer is they all have large swaths of people that hate their guts. Plain and simple. You got, the quote-unquote woke side that hate Grums and Elon. You've got the quote-unquote right side that hate Hassan Piker, and you've basically got both that hate Ubisoft at this point. Sorry, that's just an objective fact. Outside of the hardcore fans who are somewhat lacking in the common sense department, at least from what I've seen over the last week. But that's an entirely different video. And if you want my opinions on this whole Assassin's Creed Shadows thing, all you have to do is go and watch my interview with Tomoe-san that I did the other day about what actual Japanese people think about this whole thing, because that's really the only opinion that matters. Not a bunch of people on the internet, right? How do the Japanese people, as a culture, feel about this game? That's what's important, right? But, your average fanboy doesn't really care. They just don't. It's always my slop of choice is the greatest game ever and is making hundreds of billions of dollars, even though we're seeing evidence that it is bombing out incredibly hard. But you have to keep fighting the good fight. You have to stick up for your favorite corporation of choice, which just so happens to be Ubisoft in this case, which is absolutely mind-boggling, but that's besides the point. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I am talking about is the slap fight that has been occurring this last part of the day between Grums and Elon, and the weirdest combo I've ever seen in my life of Hassan Piker and the official Assassin's Creed X account. It's of all. Okay, hold on. This is just going to be a quick side note. Of all the influencers on the internet that Ubisoft and their social media team running the Assassin's Creed account could have picked, why, of all people, would you pick Hassan Piker? Why? There are so many other choices. Why did they pick Hassan? I do not understand it. It literally fries my brain. Who made that choice over there going, you know who we want representing us? Hassan. Like, what was the thought process behind that? His fans aren't going to buy anything. They're literal communists, Marxists, socialists. They're not going to buy your damn game. They're just not. They're not going to buy shit. They're not. And I would love to see the numbers on the amount of people that clicked on Hassan's little promotion link to buy the game. I would love to see the numbers on that. I guarantee they're not that great, because his fans are too busy either A, complaining about capitalism, or B, giving Hassan all their money so he can do whatever the hell he wants. It's just how it is, right? So we look at earlier, okay? And this started with Grum saying, you can tell a lot about Ubisoft with how much money they're throwing at terrorist platforming streamers. It's true. It's true. Hassan does love terrorists. And of course, it's Hassan's Blue Sky. Of course he put it on Blue Sky. He put it on X too, but of course he was over on Blue Sky, shilling for Ubisoft, like the good corpo shill that he is. Oh. And Elon chimes in, Hassan is a fraud. And then he adds to that with, sellout would be more accurate. Objectively, he is promoting a terrible game just for the money. And of course, the official Assassin's Creed account chimes in with, is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you? Which is a pretty good burn. If it didn't come from somebody working at Ubisoft. Either way, right? So Grums chimes in, Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't the hit Ubisoft desperately needs, analyst says. Right? And this is where it sort of ends, because Assassin's Creed, again, the social media person who has obviously chosen violence rather than job security, says, our game is out. And then now they go back and forth, right? and this is besides the point. So, this was 7 hours ago. This is the beginning part of this shit. And then it kept going with Grum saying, nobody pays Elon to play Path of Exile 2. How much did they pay you for Assassin's Creed Shadows? These are the real shills and grifters. Because Hassan brought up the fact that this bitch literally paid someone to power level his character in PoE 2, LMAO. And then he challenged Elon to a duel in Elden Ring, where he says, I will cook your fat rolling ass. Whatever that means. Which Elon Musk responds to Hassan, saying, Hassan is such a chicken shit retard that he blocked me, and shows a screenshot of Hassan blocking the owner of X, whatever that's going to do. But I can't. My brain breaks that of all the influencers, right, that are out there, and you have so many to choose from. Look, they could have gone with Pokimane to show their game, and I guarantee they would have made more money. You're telling me all they could afford was Hassan? Hassan, totally not a terrorist Piker? Really? I don't even care if they're left, right, center. I don't care. You have people that would have been better optics and better PR than Hassan. And you're telling me that's what they picked? Look, I knew the company was going in a bad direction already. I just didn't know it was in this insane of a direction, right? Where your, social media personality of choice is Hassan to shill a game that people are already pissed off about. It doesn't make any sense. And of course you see all the cope from, the fanboys coming out over the last few days of, well, we're coming up on a week, right? Here in the next 2 days, it'll be a week of, oh, but they have 2 million players. They had 1 million players. Oh, now it's doing that. How many copies have they sold? Crickets. Because nobody knows. Nobody knows. I'm never going to touch that game. I don't want to play it. I have no interest in it. I don't have stake in this whatsoever. I have my stance. I don't like what they did. I don't generally like Ubisoft. I'm just not going to play it. But for the people that do care, what are the numbers? How many copies have they sold? And I'm not talking about Uplay Plus. I'm not talking about Games Pass. I'm not talking about PlayStation Plus. I'm not talking about any sort of subscription service. How many copies have they sold? Nobody knows. And they keep putting this emphasis on, oh, players. Yeah, I don't give a shit about players. How many copies? How many unique copies have you sold? They're not going to answer it. I guarantee they're not going to answer it. I guarantee those numbers won't come out until like 6 months from now or something. And one metric that I've been using is Steam charts, right? And I say Steam charts because Steam does not have a subscription service. If somebody is playing on Steam, it's because somebody bought a copy of the game to play. In which case we know that there were at least 64,000 people that bought a copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows on Steam. I mean, they can't break 65,000 almost a week after release, but we at least know 64,000 something people bought a copy, right? And, people are going to keep fighting one way or the other. I'm going to keep making fun of the game and the people that are sitting there standing it like absolute psychos. And the people that love it, and I use that word generously, are going to keep defending it. And people are just going to keep fighting back and forth, and nobody's going to know the answer because there ain't no way in hell that Ubisoft is going to tell us how much money they've made off this game. We'll find out eventually. It's just not going to be anytime soon. They just won't. So, going back to what this video is actually about, which is Hassan and Elon and Grums and Assassin's Creed. This fighting that's happening, right? It's all a show, right? Elon's got fuck you money. He doesn't care what Hassan thinks or anybody else for that matter. Grums is, of course, the paragon of anti-woke virtue. You've got the champagne socialist shilling for a corporation. And then you have the social media account of said game and said corporation going in on the anti-woke guy and the guy that owns X and has more money than all of us combined. And at the end of the day, it's just funny, right? It doesn't make any difference one way or the other. It's just funny to watch. It's funny to look at. And then, of course, you're going to cheer for whichever side you fall on. In my case, I'm not really a fan of any of them. So, to me, it's just entertainment, I guess, right? But the one thing that I do not understand is why they picked Hassan to be their hill to die on. And I never thought I would see the day where I see the official Assassin's Creed account siding with Hassan Piker. It's just it's nuts. There's no other word for this. It's just nuts, right? And we'll see what happens, right? I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I've already said what I need to say about it. You know, you can cheer on your side of choice. It's just wild to see these 4 names fighting with each other. Grums and Assassin's Creed, not so much, because those two things go hand in hand. But Elon and Grums versus Hassan and Assassin's Creed is a wild fucking combo. It just is. So, there you have it. I just wanted to cover this really quick because I was sitting here looking at my phone like, what am I even looking at right now? Like, what is happening? What timeline am I in right now? This is insane. Oh man. But yeah, there you have it. Just a quick video so everybody can get caught up because it was too unhinged to not cover it. Eventually, one of these days, I'm going to do an interview with Dr. Alaric Nade, and I hope I got his name right. But anyway, he wrote a paper on Yasuke, and it basically debunks a lot of the stuff that Thomas Lockley had put out there, and it should be good from a historical perspective, right? Not from Assassin's Creed. This has nothing to do with the video game. What I'm going to talk to him about is actual history. So if that's what you're interested in and not fighting over which character is better in an Assassin's Creed video game, then you might want to watch it. But yeah, it should be good. Should be. It's just a matter of working out the time zones with him because he's in Korea. So thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, don't get into arguments with any of these people. Just don't.